UTRGV Track and Field just hired a new assistant coach who's a 4-time Olympian. The Olympics open this week. Cleopatra Burrell, ring that bell! Woo! The UTRGV Coaches Show starts now! Coach, you know you're one of the first people to ever drive this 2022 Lexus?
No kidding.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for you. What do you say we celebrate with a coach's show?
Let's go get it.
It's the UTRGV Coaches Show from North Park, Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. I'm Jonah Goldberg. We're joined by UTRGV men's basketball head coach Matt Figger. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Jonah, thanks for having me.
Coach, coming off of a couple of losses against Abilene Christian and Tarleton, what are your thoughts on what you saw over the past week?
The loss to Abilene was probably the craziest game I've ever been involved in. It's gut-wrenching for our kids. We didn't respond very well the following game at Tarleton, but you know, we're still fighting as hard as we can. We're just still been shorthanded on a daily basis. It's just been Murphy's Law, I guess you could say. With what can go wrong will go wrong sometimes. But you know, there are some bright spots. We have played offense against two teams that really pressure. We've scored the ball. We've shot a high field goal percentage. We've done some things defensively well enough to win from a field goal defensive standpoint. Probably not in the first half against Tarleton. For the most part against Abilene, I thought we defended pretty well. You know, so we got shorthanded in the Abilene game, and it just up 12 with 1:59 to go. Hard to explain that one.
Abilene Christian, that's a team that went to the NCAA tournament, beat Texas a year ago in the first round. And it ended up being a 2-point game. You know, I mean, you make the point. 4 of your starters fouled out of that game, and I think that's probably a season high in fouls called against your team.
The tone was kind of set early in the game. A lot of charge calls, things like that. You know, both teams were getting. There was a lot of fouls in both ways. I think there was almost 70 free throw shot in the game, somewhere in that vicinity. Both teams were playing really hard. Both teams were trying to take charges. Referees were calling. They were calling a close, tight game, and we had adjusted till the end. And when that desperation starts happening, you know, Abilene started just putting her head down and driving the ball, and we just couldn't stop from fouling.
Now, at one point, your team was down by 11, ended up going up by 12. So that's a pretty significant turnaround right there. So what happened to allow your team to turn the tables like that?
I just think we buckled in defensively. Started guarding, started being able to get out in transition, not let their defense get set. You know, I think you know, Justin got the hot hand in the second half. We started letting him control the game, and you know, his size and length at the guard spot just really took over. And you know, they're not a huge team, so Justin got the advantage of shooting free throws and making shots.
You mentioned Justin Johnson, and you know, he's been a great scorer, rebounder all year, and thrust into the point guard role for that game on Wednesday. And you know, once the first few minutes, I don't think he attempted a shot until like 8 minutes in, or at least he didn't get a basket. Ended up with like 22. So, and he ended up with a career high 6 assists. How did you see his progression, even just throughout the game, and understanding the point guard spot?
He wasn't playing the point guard spot until 6 o'clock that night. We had not prepared for that. I mean, we do it some in practice, but when I realized that Doc wasn't playing, it threw him and Xavier both into a situation where they're playing a position they never played before. He got adjusted to it. He understands how hard the position is to play. You know, everybody thinks because you can play in pick and roll. I've said this before that you're a point guard. It's not the case. You got to be able to organize and lead the team, and we struggled early. We struggled to run offense. We didn't look very good, and it showed that he'd never really done it before. And as the game progressed, he got better and better at it, and handled things more, and was able to help us grab a lead.
Jeff O'Sherry returned from injury, his first action since December 8th. In Wednesday's game, played a few minutes, had a dunk, and then played more minutes on Saturday, ended up with a season-high 9 points, a couple blocks as well. What have you seen from him?
Well, just Jeff's got to be able, got in practice. It's one of those things. I mean, poor kid, he's been, he's blessed with his size and strength and long arms and everything, and also he's just been riddled with an injury bug, and we're just hoping that he can finish the season with some consistency and help our team. And we've not had rim protection all year, and that's the one thing that he came in and can do is protect the rim. So hopefully we'll just day by day steps to him to try to get him better.
So this week, you're back to that Wednesday, Saturday schedule. As this show airs for the first time, you're probably around the second half, some point against Lamar, close out a homestand. Now, that game against Lamar, it's also Lou Hill tribute night. Lou Hill, head coach of UTRGV the last 5 years, passed away tragically almost exactly a year ago, February 7th of last year, the night after a game. Coach, what does this night mean to you?
Well, to me, it's a special night because it honors a really good person. Take the coaching and everything out. It's to honor a really good person, a really good family man, good husband, good mentor to kids. A coach is not, that's just a label. I think Lou was more than just a label as a coach. He was friends, mentors, knew how it was to grow up tough, could identify with a lot of kids, helped a lot of them get degrees, had a lot of success at everywhere he was at. So it's an all-around tribute and a celebration of his life.
And then I know his family is going to be there, have them, Renee, Lou's wife is going to come out on the court before the game or did, I guess, past tense when the show is airing, for a moment of applause, something to celebrate Lou. I'm sure you're excited for that moment.
Yeah, Renee's gold. I mean, she's been, the way she has opened her arms and the way she has treated my family since we've gotten into the Valley has been unbelievable. Credit to her faith, credit to her upbringings and things like that. Really, really good woman.
Saturday, back on the road at Abilene Christian. You just saw them. I mean, that's a week and a half between games. So what have you learned from that game that you can use on Saturday?
Don't turn the ball over. I mean, we can't turn the ball over. Hopefully, Doc will be full strength and Justin won't have to play the point, and that will relieve us some with our turnovers. We found success when we didn't turn the ball over, so we've got to minimize our turnovers, and if we can do that, I think we'd be in a good place.
Matt Figger, he's the head coach of the UTRGV men's basketball team. Thanks for joining us.
John, thanks for having me.
Vaqueros at Abilene Christian on Saturday. You can follow all the action at goutrgv.com. We'll take a time out on the UTRGV Coaches Show. When we come back, we'll be joined by UTRGV track and field assistant coach Cleopatra Burrell, a 4-time Olympian. This is the UTRGV Coaches Show from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley.
In the minute it takes to knock back your drink, spot your new crush, or cheer on the home team, you could do something that really makes a difference. Sign up as an organ donor. In less than a typical timeout, you could sign up to save 8 lives. It sure beats using a minute to mustard that hot dog. Sign up at tosa1.org.
The Rio Grande Valley is growing every day. That's why you need a team you can trust. 2 stations, 2 languages.
Se le pide a cualquier persona con información.
The most experienced news anchors in the valley.
And I'm Dina Herrera Garza.
The largest weather team keeping you informed in English.
Tractor front updates forecast.
Y en español.
Te le voy a estar explicando un poco más de eso.
A sports team covering the RGV like no one else.
What this win means.
We're live in the morning, at noon, and in the evenings. Anytime you need us, we're online and on social media too. We do this all in both languages.
We are tracking breaking news.
Nosotros estamos aquí para platicarles cómo va.
Who else can deliver this type of
Tonight at
coverage?
10 in the meantime, have a great evening.
No one. Channel 5 News
And Azteca Valle.
working together for you.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Now hiring awesome crew. Apply at workatcanes.com.
Fans, welcome back to WAC Vegas. As we celebrate more than a decade of madness at the Orleans Arena, the 2022 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament, March 9th through the 12th. In this year, there are even more games to watch, with 20 teams in Las Vegas. For ticket information, go to wacsports.com.
TownePlace Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh's newest destination spot and a host hotel of UTRGV Athletics, with the amenities that a frequent long-stay traveler or visiting team in town to take on the V-Nation looks for. The nightlife is amplified with Ignite Lounge, a great way to wrap up a long workday or celebrate a big win. TownePlace Suites by Marriott on Trenton in between Business 281 and Sugar Road and minutes away from the excitement of UTRGV. TownePlace Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh.
I got mine.
I've got mine.
I got mine.
I got mine.
I got mine.
I've 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 got mine.
I got mine. Go Vaqueros.
I've got mine. I've got mine. Go Vaqueros.
Coach Matlock, head baseball coach, UTRGV. Baseball's getting close, man. Get your season tickets now before they sell out. UTRGVtickets.com. V's up.
Coach, looking good driving a Lexus. Is this your dream come true?
It's a dream come true. I love it.
Oh, that's amazing. What do you say we go sit near another Lexus and record a coach's show?
Let's do it.
Welcome back to the UTRGV Coaches Show from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. I'm Jonah Goldberg. We're now joined by UTRGV track and field assistant coach, Cleopatra Burrell. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jonah. How are you today?
I'm operating within established parameters. How about you?
Same. Thank you.
Now, Coach, you're working with the throwers this year. Already have 2 indoor meets under your belt. You've only been here a few weeks, so what's that transition been like?
It's been great. It's been fast-paced, and that's how I like it. So it's a challenge, and I love a good challenge because I just like to stay busy and to give it my all. So it's been great for me.
Now, this week, the Olympics are getting underway. Now, you know a little something about the Olympics, competed in 4 Summer Olympics, 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016. You were a finalist in the shot put in 2016, finishing 7th in the world. Tell me what that experience is like.
It was unbelievable. After the qualifying round, I spoke to Felix Sanchez, and I had no idea that I'd qualified for the finals. And I broke down because it was my biggest life goal. And I was just so happy to be in the finals to represent my country.
What's the whole Olympic experience like?
The Olympic experience is walking down the street, going to the computer lab, and here's Yao Ming. Or going to lunch, and here's Dirk Nowitzki. Here's Usain Bolt. It's like finding your tribe if you're a high performance or someone striving to be a high performance athlete. It's amazing.
Now, I'm sure you got to march in the opening ceremonies. What is that like?
It's incredible. It's an incredible release of emotion for all the athletes, because until you're there, you're not there. And everyone is so happy. Everyone is just so much joy that this event that we wait and plan our lives around for 4 years, it's finally the day that it's going to begin. It's incredible.
You were a 2002 NCAA indoor champion in the shot put at UMBC, a 3-time All-American. So was it always your goal to make it to the Olympics?
Never. I mean, yes, I wanted to compete in the Olympics. As a kid, I'd watch the games with my parents, but it was never like a goal on paper. And in fact, I never realized until my coach said to me after throwing at NCAAs, he said, "You have the Olympic standard and you should go for it." And I said, "Absolutely, let's do it."
Wow. So did you have to find a qualifying meet? Like, what happens after that point when you realize you have the Olympic standard?
So you have the Olympic standard, but at the time there was an A and a B standard. And I had 2 years to get ready for the Olympic Games. So the first year, I had to convince my federation that I was from Trinidad, which to me was really bizarre. And I had to convince them that I was ready to go, that I was serious. So I had the B standard for World Championships, and the team decided not to select me. And so for the next year, I trained like a demon. I got that A standard, and I say, okay, now you have no choice but to take me to the Olympic Games. And that's what it was like qualifying for me.
Now you're done with your college career at that point, so how do you train?
Well, at that time, I got an offer from Virginia Tech to come down and train and be a volunteer assistant coach. And people that I'd never met before offered me the opportunity to stay at their house, to eat their food, to train with them, to be coached by them. And I just did my best, and I took up all these kind people who are now some of my greatest friends, took them up on their offer, because that's what the Olympic spirit is about for athletes, helping each other to get there.
Well, and you certainly brought that Olympic spirit to Virginia Tech. Not only did you become an Olympian, but you helped to turn 9 student athletes into national champions while you were there. What was that?
It was incredible, because really that program at the time was in a rebuilding phase. So seeing everything that the coaches went through and the hours they put in, the sacrifices we made, the battles they had to fight, prepared me for what we need to do now to get the track team up and running, going in the direction that we want to see here.
So you speak about being here, and after Virginia Tech for a few years, you went to Morgan State for a couple of years, but it's been about a decade since you were coaching collegiately. So what led you to the decision to come back?
So I moved back to Trinidad for coaching, for weather, and for family. But it has always been my goal, my dream, my objective to coach at the collegiate level, because coaches have always been my heroes. And I wanted to be like my heroes. I wanted to be a coach. So once the 2020 games went by, which I was training for and didn't make it because of restrictions within the pandemic, I said, all right, now is the time. Started applying for coaching jobs. And luckily, Coach Hicks decided to give me this chance.
Well, I saw your resume. It kind of jumps off the page when you look at your athletic accomplishments, certainly, but it goes beyond that. As far as I can tell, and I've only known you for a short time, you seem like an incredible person. You have the Cleopatra Burrell Foundation. Can you tell us what that is?
So athletics and academics, it's meant so much to me, so much in my life, that I want to encourage our athletes to be academic, and I want to encourage people who are more academically inclined to be active. So I developed the Cleopatra Burrell Foundation to promote athletics and academics through sport. And hopefully I can impact young people starting in my country of Trinidad and Tobago, hopefully here in Texas, and who knows where it will go. But I just want to support our athletes to have the kind of success that I've had in my career.
I saw that your work at the foundation, in some cases you help people to get food, in some cases equipment. I mean, to be able to help people like that, it's got to be a really meaningful thing for you.
It's tremendous. We recently purchased uniforms for one of our national basketball teams. Being an athlete who has been helped by others, by strangers, I think it's my responsibility to do the same and to give back to the community.
Well, that's incredible, and it's very touching, and we thank you for doing all that. Now, it's also the start of February, so start of Black History Month. What does Black History Month mean to you?
To me, it's a time to be educated about the Black experience and to learn about what has happened, to learn about your past, so that you can direct your history, you can direct your future. And so I really enjoy hearing the stories of the champions within my culture during Black History Month.
What has your journey been like as a Black woman coming up in sport and getting to where you are now?
In the beginning of my career, not a lot of Black females were involved in the throwing events. I wouldn't see people like me that much. But the thing that I love about sport is that we're all competitors, and that's what I did. So I never really think of myself as, you know, being different from my other competitors. We're all there to win and compete, and that's what I did.
And you've had some strong performances from some of your student athletes already. You know, Alexandria Hurst, already off to a great start. And when you first get to know a student athlete, and then it's like, okay, hi, I'm Cleopatra Burrell. We have a meet on Saturday. Is there a learning curve in learning their styles or just how they throw, and then being able to impart wisdom?
So typically you would meet your student athletes at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the academic year. And literally I came in and it was hi, and on Saturday we have a meet. So the learning curve has been steep. We're still trying to get to know each other, but I know my athletes want to win, and they're giving it their all, I am, and we're learning on the job, if you will. And hopefully by WAC indoors and by outdoors, we would know each other much better and be able to work as a team.
Now, we are here at North Park Lexus Rio Grande Valley, where they have a beautiful selection of brand new Lexus vehicles. It's the Winter Collection sales event, runs through the end of February. I understand that you love the Lexus.
I do, very much. It's my favorite car.
Kid you not, folks, before we started recording, Coach had me take a photo of her with one of these cars. How badly do you want this one? It's convertible.
Oh, why'd you say that? I want it even more now. I love these cars. I love Lexuses. It's my dream car. One day I'll own one.
Well, I'm sure there are a lot of sales representatives who are standing around us who are very excited to hear that. Cleopatra Burrell, throws coach for the UTRGV track and field team. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jonah.
We'll be back to wrap things up on the UTRGV Coaches Show in just a moment from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley.
Fans, welcome back to WAC Vegas. As we celebrate more than a decade of madness at the Orleans Arena, the 2022 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament, March 9th through the 12th. In this year, there are even more games to watch, with 20 teams in Las Vegas. For ticket information, go to WACsports.com.
We all want the best for our families, to love, to laugh, to live a healthy life. At UT Health RGV, we believe every family should have access to the most advanced medical care right here close to home. With over 100 board-certified doctors at 20 locations valley-wide, with life-saving procedures and treatments that keep you and your family healthy, UT Health RGV is here for you. High-quality care for every patient, for every family. Find your way to the best care at uthealthrgv.org.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
I got mine.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
I got mine.
I got mine.
I've 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 got mine. I got mine. Go Vaqueros. I've got mine.
I've got mine. Go Vaqueros.
Coach Matlock, head baseball coach, UTRGV. Baseball's getting close, man. Get your season tickets now before they sell out. UTRGVtickets.com. V's up.
There's a magic to the Rio Grande Valley and to this university. We are champions in the arena, in the halls, and in our communities. The Valley's pride. The Valley's future. The Valley's University.
Support. Some call it the foundation of success. Joining the V Club assists in the success of our student athletes. Preparing our student athletes for excellence in life.
Thanks for tuning in for this edition of the UTRGV Coaches Show at North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. We'll be back next week and every week, Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. with a special re-air Sundays at 1:30 on Somos El Valle, Channel 5.3, Cable 1241. Missed an episode? Want to watch this one again? Then check out archive shows on our YouTube channel at goutrgv.com/coaches show. Big thanks to UTRGV men's basketball head coach Matt Figger and UTRGV track and field assistant coach Cleopatra Burrell for joining us this week. Coach Figger returns next week along with UTRGV women's basketball head coach Lane Lord. But for now, this is Jonah Goldberg saying so long from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. This has been the UTRGV Coaches Show. Get your V's up.